artistic inspiration of this ancient group of sculptures is the product of their contemplation of the universe, of their close relationship with nature, with light, and the daily routine of the sun and the moon, which in silence gives the mystery and secrets of the earth within. The influence of the five elements, fire, air, water, earth and ether, maintains San Agustin's legacy forever. 1757, Fray Juan de Santa Gertrudis was the first Spaniard to report in his book, entitled Natural Wonders, the remains of a race long disappeared. At that time, the tribes including the Osoguaico, Uyumbe, Mulales, Ajíes, Totalco, and Laboyos populated the region. Today, the municipality of San Agustin is located in the region of Huila, Colombia. San Agustin is at the northeast end of the Colombian Massif Mountains, surrounded by the Horqueta Hill, Cutangas Peak, Cerro Negro Hill, San Alfredo, and San Ramon, the Pan de Azúcar, and next to it, Paletara or Chagartón's Peak.
San Agustin se considera un misterio.
San Agustin is considered a mystery from a scientific and non-spiritual point of view because of the magnitude of its sculptural art. It is interesting to know about those who created these sculptures, given the significance of their iconography and the deep meaning of the characters they portray. That I consider is a mystery.
There are special places in the world where nature, energy, and monuments emanate a sense of health, peace, and harmony, which in turn lift the spirit.
San Agustin historical culture holds a great mystery because despite the numerous and extensive archaeological studies that have been conducted here, they haven't been able to reveal the true cultural identity or cosmic vision of this ancient civilization. Little is known regarding any other of the aspects of their lives either. It is also a mystery because no one knows about the disappearance of these sculptures from the region of the Colombian Massif.
They left no writings, no explanation, just a symbolic message immersed in the beauty and the expression of their art.
San Agustín y la cultura Uyumbe, como yo la llamo.
San Agustin and Cultura Ullumbe, as I call it, with its large sculptures, it is an enigma, which until now no one has been able to decrypt. Despite similarities, despite comparisons that can be made between these sculptures and those of other countries and civilizations, nobody has been able to know who were these artists, where did they come from, and where did they go.
It looks like they came only to pave the way to another reality of which they must have had previous knowledge. Maybe they came to open the door to other dimensional planes, to higher states of consciousness.
Bueno, en realidad esto es una cosa.
Well, it's a curious matter. Many researchers have come and they have never been able to understand where the culture came from, how it began, how it ended, how they arranged to transport these materials, some of which weighed up to 12 tons and more.
Why, with such mastery and management of stone, didn't they build a permanent habitat, such as the Inca or that Tayrona did? If at this sculpture of 4 meters and 20 centimeters shows, they didn't just die here, but also born here too. Or were they brought here to be born and just returned to die? Smiling faces with impressive feline fangs. The elegance, aesthetics, and hierarchy is present in the character represented here, as in this statue of 3 meters.
In this Augustinian art, the most mysterious thing is that the essence, the charm, and the enigma are still there. San Agustin remains an active archaeological site, with 70 to 80% still left to discover.
Hidden within the region, there are still many clues of the past civilization, their knowledge, beliefs, and conceptions.
The scholars that have come to San Agustin still haven't been able to fully appreciate all that the region holds. The last investigations in this region show that the style of the sculptures are of the mythopoetic expression. This reflects a cosmologist school of thought, and a figure who really demonstrates this is the shaman. He is the leader of them, the teacher, doctor, and the person who has the most intimate relationship with the natural elements. This man, with his knowledge, skills, and abilities, imprinted his cosmology in the sculpture. The way to understand the culture of that time is to use the aboriginal approach to nature and the cosmos.
They were at one with the universe in their existence, and they flourished because of their wisdom.
Comparativamente, la estatura de San Agustín siempre nos lleva a establecer relaciones con otras.
We could compare and establish relationships with other world cultures via the sculptures of San Agustin. For example, we could discuss the lithic structures in the south of England at Stonehenge with their sacred sites, or we could compare the mounds of San Agustin with the mounds of Alabama's Mount Ville in the United States. We could also contrast the iconography of San Agustin sculptures with the Mesoamerican iconography. Both cultures share the use of the eagle, for example. The monumental sculptures of Pascua Island in Chile help us to make comparisons with San Agustin's sculptures. Anyway, researchers still have to manifest what contacts this culture had with these distant cultures, because we may see related evidence of this Agustinian culture, especially with the Mexican case.
The investigation shows us how distant cultures must relate to ours in San Agustin, such as in the native Australians, with Africa, because gorillas don't exist in this part of the world and yet the statues portray them, or with India because the shape of the eyes and the practice of yoga, like in this kriya or cleansing, or these characters appear to be doing. They swallow and remove a strip of fabric in an appropriate position which is unfamiliar to this region, or by means of their sacred plants like the yahe that cleanses the body and induces an altered state of consciousness.